Today, we're fixing my new to me, quote, refurbished Creality K2 Plus that, after my review video, started throwing error TE2761, unable to read nozzle leveling sensor. This was intermittent and worked if I reached in there and reconnected both sides of the cable going to the extruder. Went at the end of the cable chain under 3 screws, one behind a panel in the chamber. Total pain in the butt. However, with a little internet help, we'll be able to fix this and dissect the cable to see if we can find the issue. What I haven't told anyone yet is that I'm buying up these printers to find the most cost-efficient versus reliable large printer so I can begin selling a functional model I designed myself on like Amazon or eBay. However, if your printer is out of commission like mine or you need a backup plan for your own print farm, check out PCBWay. Custom PCBs, CNC machining, and I'm most interested in their 3D printing. Upload your STL, choose from a variety of options like material, color, infill, threads, and more. You can order one print for prototyping or save by ordering much more like I may need to one day. Check out the link in the description below for $5 off your first order. We need to start taking this apart, and the order is up to you since I'll bounce around a bit. First of all, we need to access the PCBs controlling the surrounding devices like the extruder and camera. This plastic cover needs to be pried away at the top and bottom. It'll use more force than you may be comfortable with, but I didn't hold back the first time I did this off camera and didn't break it. This allows us access to one end of the extruder cable. We need to access the other end of the cable on the extruder, which has the cable chain secured to the top with 3 small screws. Once removed, it'll pop right off and you can disconnect the cable. You'll also want to remove the front cover on the nozzle. It just slides up and held on magnetically. Removing the PTFE tube is optional, but again, it gives you more room to move, and I want it out of the way for the camera. Before we can remove the cable, we have to remove the back of the printer. I don't feel like counting, but there's a mix of machine screws on the perimeter and screws for like threading into plastic, which are not on the perimeter. Don't forget to disconnect the PTFE tube connected to the buffer so you can set the back panel aside. Most important, not obvious thing you should do is remove a little plastic door at the top where the cable goes through by the stepper motor. There is a screw in the chamber, but you also need to peel back the rubber or silicone gasket to access 2 more screws. This will give you room to move the cable through for installation, so we're going to pretend I did that now instead of doing it the hard way. If you haven't, like me, unplug the extruder cable and you should be able to slide it out. I went through the chamber because I want to unclip the cable chain on my workbench instead of contorting myself to do it inside the chamber. To do that, you just stick a small pry tool, like a small screwdriver, to release the clip on each link. It doesn't take long once you get the first few. I already bought a replacement cable off eBay because I have a feeling we're going to destroy this cable, but I want to know what happened because there was no visible damage. Well, not until I'm done with it. I suspect a loose connection, but after peeling back each end, the glue and connections seem intact, so let's strip the entire cable. I still can't find any damage like a cut sleeve or wire, so again, since I'm able to wiggle or reconnect the cable as a temporary fix, it has to be a loose connection. There is no wiring diagram, even on Creality's wiki, so I have no idea what wire goes to the leveling sensor, but I want to test continuity on all the wires. There are a few wires where continuity seems intermittent, but I can't tell if it's because of me and the fact that I can't keep my hand steady. I did notice the purple wire only works briefly if I really shove those probes in there, while all the other wires work or maybe blip without pushing in there so hard. Purple. I forgot which end is which now, but I wonder if maybe the wires are being pulled as the print head moves around and eventually work their way loose. Either way, time to throw it away and install the new cable I just got in. Since we have the cable chain already installed, insert the end without the chain into the top back center hole where the PTFE tube also goes. Guide this wire through the back so it's against the plastic and not pulling any other wires since you won't have a lot of slack. Back to the inside of the printer, line the wire along the bottom of the PCBs and plug it in. At this point, order doesn't matter, but reinstall the PTFE tube, zip tie the cable along the PCBs, and screw everything back in, again making sure the back panel has machine screws along the perimeter and plastic threading screws near the center. Reinstall the PCB cover and door if you took that off too like I did. After replacing the cable, I've literally ran 24 print jobs prototyping a custom design I want to sell on Amazon and haven't had one error or issue at all, honestly. No bed adhesion issues, clogs, bed leveling sensor issues, and well, I guess I did have one air printing issue because my 5 kilogram roll of PLA got tangled by the spool, so that sucks. I guess I had one issue, but not related to this cable.